Okay guys, Sifu Neil Ripski again. We're going to work on more of the stepping set, the 4 roads. We're going to work on road 3 now, a little more in depth, As the roads continue on, they get a little bit more complicated. So, road 3 works on the forward 2 angles like this. If I were to do it away from the camera, I would start out going in this direction and then coming all the way back. Now the steps are pretty simple, it's all X stances. But what's important to realize is that the first step, the knees come together like this, before the foot swings out in what we call a shovel kick, and then forward, okay? It's not just sort of stepping, okay? It's not that. It's not that. So I bring my knees together, my foot swings out, step down. The second step involves a crane stance. I come up, crane stance, side kick, step down, okay? From the side kick, and notice this isn't the stomp that we did earlier. It's not that stomp. This one is very, very careful. Because now we bring ourselves into a horse, and then we do our back step. So my right leg comes up into a crane, twists behind my knee, ghost kicks, steps down. And then we do our turn. Okay? First step is in front of the leg, second step is behind the leg. Okay? Jerry is my victor. So here we are, ready to rock and roll. In a bow stance. Road 3 begins with this. This is a shovel kick. The reason we call it that is it's like shoveling something out of the ground. You're not just going to go straight down and then have to work by twisting something up. It's like sand or something. Drive your shovel in and bring it back up. So when I kick, I'm actually coming upwards with this kick, okay? It's coming up underneath something. The idea again actually is to pin that heel to the ground if you're using it against somebody's leg. But you're coming up underneath onto their knee so that instead of the heel breaking the knee because of this, pushing this direction, the kick coming up in this direction destabilizes the upper leg and the hip. And you're trying to get right in under the kneecap in a perfect world. And you'll go right into the eyes of the knee. And it really hurts. Okay? And you'll break it in the same sort of way. It'll still be a backwards break. It's just different forces that are acting on the knee when you do it, okay? So that's our first technique, is shovel kicking up. Before that even takes place though is this. And this is what everybody always forgets in my classes. You have to close your groin first, okay? If I were fighting with Jerry and say I'm in like a kind of a crappy bow stance, he goes to kick my groin, this is to take care of that. And that's the main application of this, is that he's kicking at my groin, I take care of the kick with my knee, and then destabilize the back leg. So that way, you're intercepting their movement, and then destabilizing before you step down. Now, if I get a really nice destabilization like I've got here, this would be right on his knee as you thump to the ground, which means he'll hit the floor for me. So that's the first thing you see in road 3. The second movement is coming up into a crane and then side kicking out and down. Obviously, side kick we don't have to discuss. Kick the guy. The crane stance, purpose, protect your groin. Secondary purpose, knee attack. So if we're fighting, I'm in my X, something happens, I come up to do my kick, but I'm way too close. I have to think about the fact that this can be my application here, okay? Before my side kick takes place, my destabilization or break. Now, unlike in the last road, where we did a side kick and stomp, what we're going to do instead is we're going to take our side kick and we're going to gently touch the ground, basically a snake stance, and then we're going to move our weight over. This is like, well, it's kind of a snaky, subtle sort of a movement. Just take a stance here. What I'm doing here is my technique is missed, or he's blocked it, or something, or I'm just taking a step. I've missed my side kick. The reason I didn't stomp is because if I miss that side kick and stomp, I'm going to get it in the gonads. I gently move in and attack the knee. Remember that this is all happening up here, right? We're only talking about the legs. So I destabilize the knee, and then I can start doing things up top. Okay? So, we're shovel, side, move over. The next step in row 3, it's exactly the same as in row 2. Okay? Step behind, turn. That destabilizes by either ghost kicking or turning into their knee in some way. So instead of talking about that, we'll talk about the hands. Anytime you grab an arm, so give me this one so they can see. Anytime you grab an arm and start to turn, you get a nice little break. Or, I mean, you can make it a throw. You're just going to be nice about it. Drunken boxing really is. Given an opportunity to break something, you'll pretty much always do it. Okay? But anytime you see in this form the body turning, think about, what if I grab something? A leg, an arm, or a head. If you've got their head in your hands, we won't do this one. If I've got the head in my hands, drunkard does a lot of barrel holding. It'll bring the head into the barrel, and then he'll start these movements. You should be able to get the head rotating in opposition to the way the body weight wants to move, which obviously has pretty bad results. So that's what you need to think about here. The other one I'm going to mention, I think, is the other elbow technique. We've already spoken about elbowing in this way with my right hand. Okay, any kind of technique like that, he punches or whatever, I might turn around and throw this punch, this elbow technique. But what we haven't discussed is this elbow technique, the one that's in front. Now your arms aren't actually moving in the set itself. I'm aware of that, but everything is abstract. There's nothing concrete about martial arts. There's nothing concrete about Kung Fu. And there's less concrete about Drunken Kung Fu. Okay, it's just pretty much that simple. When you're turning and your elbows have force generated from your center available to them, that means that force is available to them to hit someone. So when I do that turn, I've got this elbow available and I've got this elbow available. Okay, so don't forget that this could be exactly how you're doing the break. Give me that arm again, please. This could be the break instead of just on the body to add more force, maybe a little more snap to it. Or it could very well be that I enter my opponent, so where the guard's up, throw a punch or something at me. Okay, unlock it, I enter my opponent, and then I do my turn, and I've got that elbow strike just waiting for me, and see, I'm basically right where I belong as far as the form goes. Okay, so make sure that you understand that anytime the torso turns, we talked about 6 harmonies before, anytime the torso turns, power is generated down and up. Use the power in the legs, that's what the stepping form's about. Use the power in the arms, because that's what Kung Fu's about. It's about fighting. If you don't understand that generated power can work in 2 directions, you've got a big problem. Okay, big problem. So that's basically it for row 3. Protect your groin, shovel kick. Protect your groin, knee strike. Stick the side kick through them, gently down, move into their space with the knee, and then the same ghost kick that we had earlier. So, let's begin road 4. Road 4 is a pain in the butt, because everybody has a hard time remembering it. It has to do with how we're moving. And I've decided to kind of fully disclose on this set to YouTube, so we're going to have to talk about exactly what that means. And I think we're going to do that. How much time have we got left, Patrick?
Minute 20.
Okay, we'll do that in the next video. We'll end this video here. And the next video we'll start with discussing what the theoretical concept behind the 4th road is. And then from there, we'll just take a look at what's going on as far as fighting applications. Thanks a lot.